Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to review some stocks from the international scene. And let's take a look at the following. Of course, you want to see Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple, Netflix. We can also include Microsoft. Okay, so let's see how these um, big players or the tech giants perform in the US market. Okay, let's start with Facebook. Okay, so Facebook, as you can see, has been on a very bullish move for the past few weeks. In fact, when the pandemic or the lockdown started back in March, that's when it really rallied to the upside. Okay, and right now what we are seeing is just a temporary retracement or a correction that we have for Facebook. And I feel that this is the area because you had some resistance formed right at this level over here. Okay, and we managed to break out of that resistance level. So I feel that this is just trying to retest the new support. Always remember that when you price, your resistance area gets broken, then what will happen is that your previous resistance will act as a support. And when we break out of that resistance, it goes a little higher and then it retraces back to the support level just to confirm that support, and then next possible movement would be to the upside. So it's going to move something like this. And overall, my recommendation for this is when you engage in Facebook, I suggest engage in it for long term. There are a lot of great news happening for this company. If you're in eToro, there are a lot of good posts there, and they've launched shops where you can have small time sellers start use the platform for for selling their goods. And I'm sure there are a lot of new stuff or new things that they're trying to innovate, considering that the market almost everyone, right, if not all, almost everyone has Facebook, has Instagram, and we know that Instagram and Facebook, they're owned by the same company. So uh, they're very successful in the business model that they have chosen, and people are patronizing and are using. In fact, we're all glued to Instagram and Facebook this entire time. So overall, there's a promising outlook for Facebook, and I'd say wherever it is at right now, that is already a good entry price. 221 is the short-term support that we see, or the nearest support that we see for this stock. Okay, 221. Next would be Google. As for Google, we are very near a possible resistance. Okay, let me just remove that. Okay, we're very near a possible resistance right here. So if you want to get in Google, I feel that it is in fact still trying to trigger some more bullish actions there. Even though for several days we've been just trying to, what this does is just try to break that resistance. The reason why we said that that's a resistance is because of this. For several days it has been moving up there, and previous support right here. So let's see on Monday, that's your make or break day for Google. If the price breaks out of that 1432 level, then we can say we now have a brand new wave, and it might create the same pattern as what we saw in our Facebook um, in Facebook, where it will go a little higher, go back, and then continue to move higher. So again, these are the stocks that we are not going to be scared in engaging because they have the market. They were able to capture majority of the market share, because right now we're still using, the number one search engine that we're using. For of course you have Google. People are patronizing YouTube. All the majority of the businesses are now migrating their budget, their advertising that budget, to either Facebook or Google, because this is where the viewers are. So another promising stock to also start engaging in for long term, guys. Okay, Amazon. Okay, Amazon over here. I think this is still respecting the MA20 line. So I'd like to plot our support at this level. So if the market gives you a chance very near 2,376, that again is a good entry price. So this already has managed to rest. But what's interesting is when it rests, what's good about the stock is it just rests very briefly and then rallies again to the upside. And I think right now it's just respecting the MA20 line, and another good candidate for long-term investing. If you're very new in the world of trading and investing and you want to engage in the foreign scene, these are the stocks overall. But let's see the other stocks. I want to see their chart first. But right now, Amazon, of course, another big player in the industry, and industry of the e-commerce industry. So 2,376, that will be our support area. Apple. Okay, I feel Apple will still rest. This is the resistance, and we've already noticed some weakness happening right at that level. So I feel that it might rest first before it continues to rally to the upside. But the nearest support that I see would be around your 300 level, 301, because it's an area, so around that area. The reason why we said that is because we saw this, and then we saw this. Okay, this one too. So it was those are validations that indeed that's your nearest support. So it might do something like this, and of course you have to watch out at this area, see if it will manage to bounce. But overall, yeah, I like this stock because of course it really is a perfect example of branding. And once you say Apple, that people already, the people trust the brand and trust the quality of the product. And this is one of the many companies in the international scene that will not be easily stumbled down because of what is happening right now. There are so many users of Apple products, and yeah. So my recommendation at this point is just wait for it, because I think it's still bound to retrace, and you might be able to get this at a much cheaper price. So I think one key takeaway here is that we have to fully understand the financials and the fundamentals of the company we're engaging at, and the objective of this charting session is just to really understand when we can get in. And at this point, I'd say not yet, because we're seeing some signs of weakness, and we're bound to rest for a while or do some correction for a while before it goes up again. Similar to the other stocks, except for this one. I think this is this was triggered by the quarantine or the pandemic. But when we started to recover, it only rests for a short period of time and then rallies to the upside. Same with Facebook and Google. Netflix. Okay, another stock here that is also showing some promising movements. And the reason why we chose this stock is because right this very moment. People are locked, are in a lockdown, they're just at home, and a lot of people are already uh, glued in Netflix or either the World Wide Web. They're either on their laptop or watching Netflix. So I'm sure the revenue has improved. April 21st, there's a but not that much, right? Negative, but compared to the other stocks. So this is already an interesting number to see, because despite the pandemic, the decline in the revenue is just very minimal. Okay, so where is it now? The support that we see at the moment is right here. This is the support area. Short term, nearest support is 408 level. So if you want to get in, that would be around 408. And let's see if it will sustain. So far, you're still at the mid-range for your RSI. You're still at a healthy level for your RSI. There you have it. 408 level is our support. Microsoft. I think this will still respect the support that we have plotted previously. I forgot when I plotted this, but this has been on my chart for quite some time now. But let me move this a little bit higher, because this is the short or the nearest resistance, and you're very near a resistance. And when it touches that level and you see some red candlesticks being formed, consider taking in some profit or locking in some profit, because what we see at the moment here is a declining momentum. Let's remove this for a while. Okay, so once the price touches that level and we still see the same pattern right over here, there's a big possibility that it will retrace. And by that time, I'd suggest that, try to look at other stocks that has a more promising reward offering. This one is again very stable, but it's just that talking about timing and technical analysis, we're still at the uh, very near our resistance area. So uh, maybe you can look into the other stocks that we have reviewed today. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. And if you have some other stocks in the US market that you would like us to review, feel free to drop a comment. Also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you're always updated with our next video. Bye bye for now.